Talks daily podcast, a place where I interview tech leaders, CEOs, entrepreneurs, futurists, technologists, thought leaders, and even the occasional celebrity about how they are leveraging technology to transform their business. Now today I'm live in Chicago at the Sitecore Symposium event, and I'm wandering the show floors here searching for digital transformation stories, but in industries that you don't automatically associate with technology. For example, if I was to ask you about Cirque du Soleil, you probably wouldn't think about technology. But the world famous show that is currently back stronger than ever across multiple continents is currently delighting their fans with an interactive program that enhances the fan experience and ultimately enables more engagement opportunities. So as someone that walks around event show floors counting the wireless arrays that deliver Wi-Fi, the third-party app of choice that delivers food to people's seats, I felt compelled to find out more about the technology that is transforming this magnificent show. So buckle up and hold on tight as I beam your ears directly to the show floor here in Chicago, where you can join me and Pierre-Luc Camirand, Director of Digital Customer Experience at Cirque du Soleil. So a massive warm welcome to the show. Can you tell the listeners a little about who you are and what you do?
Yeah, so my name is Pierre-Luc Camirand. I'm the Director of the Digital Customer Experience at Cirque du Soleil. I've been working at Cirque for the last 5 years, and I basically oversee 4 different teams. So the web development team, CRM, data and customer data and analytics, and also the project management office for MarTech.
Well, it's a pleasure to have you on here. I've got to ask, what brings you to Symposium? Have you been before, and what have you enjoyed most so far?
Actually, this is my first time at the Symposium, and my team used to go at the Symposium every year almost before the pandemic. But in my case, that's my first time. And obviously, what I like about the Sitecore Symposium is that you meet people that share the same passion as you. We are working with Sitecore on a daily basis, and we are a pretty small team of 8 developers. And when you can access other people that work with the same technology, it's so interesting because you have like not super high level conversation that you have in other kind of conference. It's like real life experience discussion, and it's super interesting. Yeah, definitely.
Now, on this Daily Tech podcast, I'm passionate about getting people thinking about industries that they might not associate with technology. And I think it's fair to say that most people wouldn't put Cirque du Soleil and how it's being impacted technology and the rise of digital experiences, they wouldn't automatically assume that. So can I ask you to share, you've been on quite a journey over the last few years. The pandemic closed the shows and actually forced you to rethink how you're going to bounce back, how you're going to enhance that fan experience. Can you tell me a little bit about that journey that you've been on?
Yeah, sure. And the first thing that comes in mind for me is really the project that we have launched about a year ago, which is called the Interactive Program. So back in June 2021, I remember very well when I first pitched this idea to our former chief marketing officer. We're like, okay, we need to improve the pre-show experience because people arrive at the show probably 15, 30 minutes, 45 minutes prior to the show. And they basically do not that much, I went to see a show in Las Vegas, O Show, and I was seeing people looking at Google and Wikipedia to get more information about the show they were about to see. And we were like, okay, we need to build a platform where people are going to be able to learn more about the show they want to see. So we have built this interactive program, and you can access information by scanning a QR code. On site, you're able to access information about the show itself. So the storyline, characters, description, fun facts, practical information about the venue and parking. We have a social media widget also that gathers content from our fans and also our artists for a specific show. There's a Spotify widget to listen to the music of the show. There's an interactive map also that displays all our shows across the globe. So there's different features in there. So it's kind of an information hub that we provide now to our fans so they can learn more about the show. And ultimately, the goal is to influence their perception and the level of appreciation of a show when they access that kind of information. And I can give you an example. In our interactive program for our masterpiece in Las Vegas. I don't know if you have seen that show. Have you,
No.
You have the chance to?
Not yet, no. And I do spend a fair bit of time in Vegas,
okay.
so I need to sort that out.
Yeah, you have to see that one. All our shows, we have seven permanent shows in Las Vegas. That one specifically is super good.
Where's that located again?
It's at the Bellagio.
The Bellagio, yeah.
Bellagio, yeah. So it's called and we have this massive pool on the stage, water pool, and we have 14 technicians working underwater during the show every night. So when you communicate that kind of information to our fans, to our guests, it changed completely, their perspective on that show. And again, ultimately, our goal is to generate more buzz around the show and also word of mouth. So that kind of information and tools and digital tools really help to achieve that.
I love the story behind that as well, how you were observing people face down in their phones, just Googling and thinking, we should be doing something here with that. And it's that simple.
Definitely.
And as I said, one of the things that I've learned here, just talking to you today, is this interactive program that enhances fan experiences and helps unlock other engagement opportunities too. So can you tell me more about this, what the interactive program looks like? And for anybody that may be listening that's going to see the show at the Bellagio, maybe walk me through what they can expect and if they're attending one of your future shows and the role of technology. So let's say I've got a ticket, I'm at the Bellagio tonight. What can I expect?
So there's the Bellagio, but also we have launched now 12 different versions of the interactive program. So if you go see other touring shows, for example, with Big Tops, you're probably gonna be able to scan a QR code and access the interactive program. But definitely, it's a good way to engage for everyone that wants to see a show. We have integrated also a form right now in the platform in order to subscribe to our loyalty program, which is the Club Cirque program. So if you want to better engage with Cirque du Soleil, you want to receive more information about it because you're a fan, then it's going to be the quickest way to do it, to subscribe to the Club Cirque form inside the platform. So obviously for us as marketers, it's a great way to get more access to first-party data. Obviously, because our challenge with our main website, cirquedusoleil.com, is that most people come on the platform to buy tickets. But typically, I'm sure it's the same thing for you. When you buy tickets to go see a show, you're not going to buy a single ticket. You're going to buy multiple tickets. So with our main website, we are able to reach out mostly to the ticket buyers. So with the interactive program, everyone can access our digital platform and get in contact with our brand, ultimately.
And what kind of feedback have you had from the fans? Do you get to hear any stories?
Oh yeah, I would say that was the fun part of the project because it was a no-brainer. We had to go on site to see how people were using the platform, and it's really a game changer. When you go on site, you realize that the experience is fairly quick. People arrive, like I was mentioning, maybe 15 minutes before the show. They're going to scan the QR code. But they also want to buy popcorn. They also want to go see the theater. So they're probably going to spend right before the show 1 minute, 2 minutes in the platform in average. So it's pretty quick. So you need to provide the right information at the right time. And by going on site, that's what we observed. And we could see also how people are using it. They're closing their phone. They go back to it. We have tried also to put some QR codes behind the seats. So we were looking at, are the people are scanning it? Is it too dark inside the theater? And so all that kind of observation allowed us to improve the platform and also the different touch point to communicate that platform and to promote that platform to our guests.
And it's kind of ironic, isn't it, that 2 years ago, before the pandemic, nobody wanted to use QR codes. It was so hard to get people to use them. And obviously, you've had the hard impacts now, and it's impacted the business. But on the other side, everybody uses them like second nature now, don't they? So you don't have that learning curve or anything.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And you don't have to explain how to use it anymore. And that's a huge relief for us because since we have shows everywhere on the globe, we need to translate every message, every communication piece in probably 5 or 6 different languages. So the fact of using QR code, you can only put the image of a phone with the interactive program in it with a QR code, and that's it. People are going to scan it. You don't have to translate, the call to action or how to use it. in multi-languages. So that simplified things a lot for us.
Yeah, absolutely. And I suspect many listening will think that your interactive program has also raised the bar of expectations for other shows and possibly might want to follow in your footsteps here. So the big question is, how did you do it? Can you walk me through certain elements of the project and how you were able to bring this to life?
Yeah, I think the key in that project was really the MVP approach, so the minimum viable product. So our goal was to launch a first version 4.0 at the beginning in less than 8 weeks. So it has been much more easier for us to share that project with the stakeholders, with top management, by saying, okay, it's an 8 weeks project, we're going to test it. We don't have to invest like a 6 months investment in there. Definitely the MVP approach was key in there. And then you need the right team to build that project. You need a good engineer, people who can understand. We had challenges at the beginning because for most of the show in Las Vegas, you are in casinos, and there's a lot of concrete. Yeah. So you need super performant platform in order to better load on phones when people are scanning the QR codes. So since the beginning, we were like, okay, how can we put forward a platform that's going to be cutting edge in terms of technology? So we went with Sitecore, using the headless / Jamstack approach, with Unify and with Netlify and Uniform. So we have, this pretty advanced tech stack right now, and it's probably the most advanced technology that the team has ever used internally. And that was a very exciting project for that reason also.
And it's incredibly challenging, isn't it? With the bandwidth thing, with 10,000 people all in the same kind of environment. So were there any other big challenges that you faced?
I would say, when you want to communicate something or promote something on site, you need to manage it knowing that there's going to be a crowd and people walking by, people don't notice, ads that much. So you need to be very specific and very smart in the way that you're going to promote your digital platform on site. We can move kind of an A-frame from 1 meter, and it's going to make the all difference. It's going to be another scale of data. We can have twice the scans if we are moving slightly the A-frame for the interactive program. So that's another reason that we wanted to go on site to see if people are scanning it. And we were testing different positions inside the theater and outside the big top also to make sure that people are seeing the ads, at the right place at the right moment.
And now you're on the other side of transformational change. For other people that are just at the beginning of their journey, what would you say is the biggest ROI of personalization and those projects and enhancing the experiences across an entire digital ecosystem? Because for people just starting out, the business leaders are going to be saying, well, what's in it for me? What is the ROI? What is the ROI that you've experienced?
With personalization, I will say that, of course, when you use geo information, it really helps you to better improve your experience. Because if you live in the UK, you don't want to land on a website and see a Cirque du Soleil show in Montreal. You need to adapt your information because you're probably going to visit our website on your mobile, and you don't want to spend 5 minutes looking for a show near you. So it needs to be, straight to the point. And using personalization help you to achieve that in a much more efficient way. So for example, about a month ago, we have launched a new homepage for cirquedusoleil.com, and we added a new search module in there. So you can enter any city, any markets, and you're going to be able to discover if there's a show in that area. And then there's small promo box at the bottom. And with personalization in the near future, we're going to adapt this content based on your research. So if you're looking for Las Vegas shows, we're going to promote some Las Vegas packages, for example. So we're going to adapt the content based on your research using the Sitecore personalization.
I love that. And what's next for you? Where do you go from here? And can you possibly offer any teasers of how you're going to continue to drive innovation and deliver that wow factor? Because it seems that you're rapidly increasing the expectations of your customers, but they're going to want more, right?
Mm-hmm. No, definitely. I think there's a lot of challenges for 2023, and I think better leverage first-party data is going to be part of our objective for sure. Because you were talking about personalization, but you can, the best use case with personalization is when you use your first-party data. And it's not true that all the first-party data comes from your website. It comes from your customer service. It comes from your surveys. It comes from your newsletter. So you need to be able to gather all these customer data at the same place in order to be able to create segments and better target and retarget your user on your different platforms, especially on your website. So that's really our next step, I will say, to better leverage the data that we are gathering in different sources and put it together and reuse it for a customized experience on our website.
Well, I wish you the best of luck on this journey. I'm conscious I have dragged you off the show floor here today, so thank you for your time. But before I let you go, there's one other question I always ask my guests to leave and close the show with, and that is there a song that you can share with us that we can add to our Spotify playlist, or a book that we can add to our Amazon wish list? What would you like to leave everyone listening with, and why?
Yeah, so I will say definitely a book called Creating Magic by Lee Cockrell. It's a leadership book, and it's super interesting because Lee used to work at Disney. He used to be a former VP out there, and it's really a great lesson of leadership that puts forwards the human being first, and how to create more efficient process by leveraging your team. So there's definitely great lessons in that book for sure.
Awesome. Well, I'll add that to our Amazon wish list so listeners can check that out. But enjoy the rest of Symposium, and a big thank you for sharing your story with me today. Again, what a great story. I love how they've bounced back, enhancing the fan experience by leveraging technology. And in doing so, they've created this interactive program that enhances the fan experiences and is unlocking more engagement opportunities. And in doing so, they have raised the bar of expectations for other shows where fans will expect that same experience. So I'd be interested in anybody that runs any other shows out there and how you may be trying to follow in their footsteps. So if anything resonated with you, if you've got anything you agree with, anything you disagree with, I want to get all voices on this particular topic and ask you to email me now, techblogwriter@outlook.com, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram @NeilCHughes, and we'll share your story too. But that's it for today. Time for me to sneak off. But I will return bright and early tomorrow with another guest. So a big thank you for listening as always. And until next time, don't be a stranger.